Sagittarius, welcome to a life path reading for the late winter period of February and up to the spring equinox 2021. It's Raina here. So I'm just shuffling the cards. This is kind of like my regular monthly readings, but I throw a twist by I do a slightly different spread, and I just kind of like look at it from the perspective of what has been happening, in life thus far. I just separated this into five piles. You know what? I'm going to put 6, and then I'm going to just pick the cards at the top. And I will talk about what each position means, and for us, since I'm a Sag too. You know what? I I think I picked cards from other piles that I wasn't supposed to pick, but that's all good. It was definitely meant to be, and I'm just going to collect these excess cards. And as I've been saying for the other signs I've done so far, I was trying to keep relationships out of this, since I tend to do those a lot. And it just keeps following me and following me. So, life path to me, I usually think of career matters. But then when I really thought about it, I thought, well, not necessarily. Sometimes people are really into their career, and their life path may be taking them in this time frame into more domestic areas. So that's why I kind of shifted it around. Plus, I was getting cards that were really about that. So what we have for the current energies, the Page of Cups, which is a card of new beginnings, or the beginning stages of something creative or spiritual, and I should say or spiritual. It's associated with Pisces. So we can think about the Neptunian, if that's a word, influence, which has to do with creative matters and spiritual matters, which I really think are pretty much one and the same. And are these things on your mind in some way? I know they're on my mind, and I've been kind of really thinking about it in my head, like how I'm going to do this in my own life, things that I want to do. And, the whole point of why it's even an issue is because these are things that are not encouraged in our daily life. Everyone will cheer you on if you are talking about something practical, but these things are considered impractical, and some people would say downright flaky, and they will have no, you may find it hard to find a support system or somebody that can talk to you about these things if they are important in your life in some way. And then I have the card from 2020, looking back. Is that a lizard? It's actually a lizard or something at the bottom right. Sorry if it's not focusing as it should. But this is a card, the King of Wands, that is a card of self-mastery. I would say in the minor arcana, really exemplifying that type of independence in a person's life, where they are, the captain of their ship. Now, how, I would just ask you, I'm not going to just put this on you, in what way did this theme, did it play out in 2020? Doesn't mean that it was just like perfectly where you felt that way. It could have been that you realize the importance of feeling that way. And so an example would be if you found yourself in 2020 feeling like the victim of fate, and it wasn't hard to do given the circumstances, something which nobody could have imagined occurred. And what were we supposed to do? How were we supposed to handle that? And so The point being that some people, before the shutdown happened, were already living lives where they had more control over their life. And for other people, they were perfectly fine to, work for somebody else and to just go along with the program. And when the program came to a grinding halt, all of a sudden they realized that there are no guarantees in life, and that you do have to always have that kind of um, understanding that ultimately you are responsible for yourself, and nobody's going to necessarily save you or give you anything, including a job. And so when I see the King of Wands, maybe some of you started your own jobs or your own business, or even if it was a little something and it wasn't meant to support yourself. So I'd be curious if any of you did do this directly in reaction to the shutdown, and because you had time on your hands, or you just felt like I better get going. Please, and you want to share that, please, do so in the comment section, because I would be curious to know if that happened. Now, the other thing too is that the Page of Cups can be a child. So if the King of Wands is a person who is in your life, then maybe this is somebody who you were not planning to have in your life. And they came along, and maybe everything happened very quickly. So that can be certainly, that's what I was talking about with relationships, a change of pace, and making it a life path, a change in your life path, I should say. So what we have for this time frame that I was talking about, from now until, I would say, the spring equinox, March 20th, we have the Three of Cups, and this is a card of celebration. It's a lighthearted card. It's something that is very positive, and maybe this is you feeling very free, you feeling very in control of your life, being able to just enjoy life and not feel like it's heavy. Maybe you're celebrating a marriage or a and that you do have a marriage card here too. So maybe that is the change, and perhaps a baby prompted it, or a child that you wanted to give a more solid life. The Page of Cups can be some kind of baby that is a creative endeavor, and maybe you're having something to celebrate with it because you're having some success. So it could be something on that level as well. But I just think in general, when I see the Three of Cups, I think of somebody who is not allowing life to get too heavy, is just enjoying things because maybe there's something to celebrate in your life. And it doesn't have to be a specific event. It can be just that you are happy and you want to be social with other people. What's coming in? We have the Justice card, which is a card that is associated with Libra, and it is like a legal affair. It can also be feeling a sense of balance in your life. If you have been too caught up in work and not enough play, then like the Three of Cups suggests, then that can be it. If you've been too caught up in career matters and not enough domestic, and then if the Page of Cups, if that's a child, that could be that as well. There is something with the Justice card of fairness. So this issue may come up for some reason, and I was just even thinking like paralegal, like somebody who's a paralegal, or, that you're studying that kind of thing. Perhaps that could be what, talking about the career path that you're going on to have more autonomy in your life in some way. If you feel the sense of that you're at the mercy of somebody else. The advice is the chariot. Sometimes this can be travel. There is a Mercury retrograde going on, so that's something you'd have to consider. But yeah, this can be a card of traveling, but also gaining control of those, whatever those things are, sphinxes. But in my other deck, they have horses of duality. I just got that card for another sign, and I was explaining about that, in life, how a lot of times we get, thrown off course because we have opposing forces that are pulling at us from, both ends. And if we're the kind of people that are easily distracted, it can keep us from achieving our goals. So, and you can even just say anybody who's a distraction to your life and trying to lure you into to focusing on them, and you have a goal in your mind. And so some of these cards suggest success in accomplishing your goals. And in order to do that, you have to be one-pointed. It's kind of like Buddhism, one-pointedness. I'm going to put this. And then the outcome is the Four of Wands, and this is the card of the happy home. Also, if you're thinking of moving house, then this, hold this visual in your mind, or the emotion that this conjures up, which it has to do with joy. We're talking about wands, and wands are fire signs. And in astrology, the fourth house of home and family is ruled by Cancer, and Cancer is a water sign. And that makes sense because of the sentimentality, the emotion that's behind it. But that's not how a fire sign would have their home. A fire sign's home would be a place where they can be creative. It could be like their creative space. Maybe they would make their home their studio, and just really, and if they're not into artistic pursuits, then whatever your passion is, but you can also have that from the home base. But also the emotions can be joy and a sense of, that inner child coming out. And so hold that vision in your mind if you're looking to move house, or infuse your current residence with that kind of vibe, because that might be what is indicated for you at this time. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this, Sag, and I hope that you have a great end to this season of life, and that the new chapter is, as happy as that Three of Cups, which I'm certainly looking forward to. And if you would like a private reading, I'm primarily an astrologer, and I do a lot of natal chart interpretations and looking at the transits for the upcoming year, things like that. And I have specials that combine, two types of readings, including a tarot and a natal chart interpretation called the Whole Enchilada. So you can check out what I have to offer at the link below. There's more information there. So thank you for watching. Take care. Bye.